I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, January the 17th, where it's usually a technical term, but oversold seems to be the term that spells best for this cash market, the feeder market, I should say. But I think this cash is oversold. Last week's wreck on your cash feeders and your bigger calves going right on the feed, they overdid it a little bit, I think. People got a little excited with all the cold weather and miserable conditions there, decided to really pull back, and I think they're easing back into it this week just a little bit. The board was closed on Monday, which helped. It's always nice when the board's closed because it can't screw anything up. But on Tuesday we had some mild gains and really leading into some almost sharp type gains, but building a little bit of confidence back in this market. Man, it's looking like that's carrying over into your cash feeder trade. We'll see as we work through the week here what happens in the fat trade. But you look at the board for Tuesday, April live cattle was up 92 cents to end the day at 120.37. Your February was up 72 cents at 118.10. March feeder cattle up $1.27 to end the day at 143.92. And your January spot feeder cattle contract up $1.25 at 145.60, and it's actually over $1.50 higher than what your real-time index is, what your cash feeders were bringing. And if you remember, it was not very many days at all, maybe eight or 10 days, business days, that we were over $8 difference with your board dragging so far behind the cash market. But I mean, we have just killed this cash market here in the last week and a half or so. That fat cattle trade, of course, I haven't seen anything at all happen. Don't count on your Fed Cattle Exchange to help out any. They're offering a whopping 304 head, which is about like a mom and pop flea market sale barn. So that doesn't really gonna help any kind of trade or give any kind of a direction. They could steal them or give them away and it wouldn't make a difference either way. But you know, most of our market was 120 last week, and that may be what we might consider steady, but I'd say we're really setting at 119, and I think we could hold 119 with your February market on the board up 72 cents at 118.10. I think we could hold 119, and we'll see what goes on later in the week. We may get back up to that 120. But box beef cutout values are not going to help. They were down sharply on Tuesday's trade to open the week there, but your choice cutouts 205.58 down $2.45, and that is terrible. I don't know how these packers are going to continue to stay open, having to take the cutouts down like that. Your selects 199.89 down $2.15, so they're going to be a little bit hard to trade with, and you can bet that's going to carry over into our fat cattle trade. But cash feeders, real-time index on Beef Market Central late in the day on Tuesday at 144.01 down $1.08, and that was more severe than it was through Monday's trade. So we're seeing that we're sure down in our markets, but we're really going to find out on Wednesday here what happens, because that's when the market really tanked, and we're going to see if we're going to hold that tank steady, if we're going to continue it more, or if we're going to take a little bit off of it because it was so oversold. But at OKC West at the calf sale on Tuesday, just 2,500 head, but I mean bitter cold and tough to get around. Maybe not on the black tops, but you get off the road there and it's tough to get around, and just not the best kind of conditions to get your cattle out. But they sold those calves $2 to $4 higher in a light test, and if you remember, they sold those calves on Wednesday a week ago. So anyways, that's $2 to $4 better and a light test, and that bodes well for a cash market. But you look at a market out there, and they're still benefiting from the National Western Stock Show in Denver, but La Junta, Colorado had another big run at Winter Livestock Auction. Look at the market report here on Cattle Market Central. Had a real good sale, and especially on these Middleweight calves is what they're selling. Not so many of those big heavy calves or short yearling cattle, but the mid to heavier weight calves was the popular weights there, and they sold from $1 to $5 higher. You see 704 head in the 5-weight category, average 558 at 170,304. That was up over $5 on the weighted average compared to the previous week, which was also a good test. And they had over 5,000 here this Tuesday. 991 head of 6-weight steers, average 647 at 161.92. That was up better than $1. And 591 head of 7-weight steers, average 747 at 146.24, and that was a little bit of weakness there, but not bad at all, really. And I think we're starting to see a little bit, the market is peeking its head around and seeing if it's safe to come out, and I think we could gain back a little bit of that ground we lost last week. But look at an individual quote at Winter Live in La Junta. 87 head of 497-pound steers, 5 o'clock Tuesday evening, bring 198.25. And look up in Nebraska, or in South Dakota actually, at Glacial Lakes Livestock in Watertown, South Dakota, a big string of big steers at 1 o'clock on Tuesday. 93 head of steers weighed 854 pounds at 149.25. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.